internet infrastructure is changing and edge is speeding things up. Joining me today to talk through these changes is Giordano Albertazzi, President for EMEA at Vertiv, and Philip Marangella, CMO EdgeConnex. Guys, thanks a lot for talking to me. Let's start with a broad sort of question. How is infrastructure changing?
So I'll start. For us, it's all about our customers, right? And so, you talk about the edge, that's top of mind for many folks today. For us at EdgeConnex, we've been building out the edge for a number of years, thanks in part to the help from Vertiv, of course. But the first wave for us was content, bringing content closer to the eyeballs. Cloud's next, bringing the cloud closer to the enterprise. And next you have things like machine learning and AI, autonomous vehicles and so forth. But what you need from an infrastructure perspective is to be able, as a data center operator, to support everything from the core to the edge to the micro edge and everything in between, and have that full continuum of solutions to support those infrastructure requirements.
Yeah. Then Giordano, we've seen a lot of the work that you've done, especially with reports from Vertiv around the edge and the 4 different use cases, etc. How has sort of edge changed the portfolio of Vertiv over the years? How does a company like Vertiv adapt?
Well, the challenges with edge, the opportunities with edge, and the whole re-architecture of the infrastructure in general pushed us towards higher and higher levels of modularity in our offering. So, just like Philip was saying, it's about ubiquity. It's about being able to be fast in deployment. It's about being scalable. All elements of a portfolio that we have developed over the years with a more and more integrated solution. Integrated solution can be modular data centers, can be standalone containerized data centers, but more and more kind of skids that make the deployment work much faster, much more error-free, and much kind of concentrating the complexity of site in a factory environment to be able to speed up what happens on site. So doing, making our customers' life easier because they do not have to take long-term bets like they did before. The environment is very dynamic, and we want to be as dynamic as the environment and enable our customers with that.
And if we go on a global journey now, how do you see the adoption of this sort of new technology, infrastructure, let's say infrastructure, being adopted across different regions? And what sort of timings are we talking about? Is this going as fast as you expected? Is it going slower?
Yeah.
Is it going to speed up?
Well, and I think Giordano said it, right? Ubiquity is the key, and by that we mean this capability anywhere, right, to support any deployment type. We're seeing a lot of expansion presently in South America because traditionally customers had to backhaul all the way to the US for content, and same for cloud. And it's bringing that distributed architecture is what we're working on building out beyond the top 20 data center markets in the world, going to more and more secondary markets, tertiary markets, and bringing all these applications and workloads to solve for the bottlenecks, right? Giordano's talking about why we're re-architecting the internet in a way, is there's so much volume of data and the types of data that are being created. We have to, as data center operators, help solve those bottlenecks to create peering at the edge and being smart about how we reroute the traffic to solve for those bottlenecks.
Okay. And do you want to add anything in terms of the Vertiv portfolio and expansion as well?
No, exactly. So Vertiv portfolio is, besides the traditional technologies, power, cooling, racks, BDU, power distribution, is really expanding and investing in our integration capabilities that will help the tier 2 expansion of the edge, but also that makes Vertiv ready for what will be tier 3 extreme part of the edge, micro data centers. Integration of our racks, cooling and power solutions is certainly dominant in our investment in technology right now and capacity.
Just going on the tier 3s, almost like off the track here. You have tier 1 cities, tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities. Will there be a tier 4 sort of thing? Tier 4 locations?
Again, it's driven by our customers, right? And so if they feel the need to whatever in their mind is a tier 4, we can certainly support it, whether it's a micro edge or something else, right? It doesn't matter, and I think getting hung up on some of those kind of classifications, it's all about bringing the customer service closer to the end user to reduce the latency, reduce the cost, increase the performance, and have a better quality of experience.
Okay, and then obviously you two work together quite often. What is Vertiv helping EdgeConnex with, and what are you getting from Vertiv? And also bearing in mind all the needs to protect the climate and renewable energy, so adoption of renewable energy. Are you two doing anything around those topics? And
well, I'll start, right? So why? We had this discussion yesterday. We were part of the Infrastructure Masons Advisory Council, and we were talking about some of these common challenges. Supply chain is a huge one for us, right? Because in addition to the scalability element and being able to grow with our customer, it's the speed to deliver that. And having a supply chain where we have the peace of mind that our business can support our customers' requirement in the time frame that they need it is critical, right? And that's where Vertiv gives us that peace of mind to be able to support those requirements anywhere in the world.
Okay.
So you were mentioning sustainability and energy efficiency. We see increasing focus across the board in the industry, and clearly with EdgeConnex going in that direction, in a direction in which more and more data centers are adopting energy efficient technologies, PUEs plummeting, but there is only, the unity is the limit of PUE, of course. So what is the next stage? Certainly more and more use of renewables in, let's say, the energy mix, but we see increasingly important the aspect of a data center as being part of a grid. So concept and technologies like grid interactive UPS, by which a data center becomes a prosumer. So not only a consumer, but a producer of energy as well, will help optimize the energy consumption of, let's say, a community, of a territory, if you will. So we are investing a lot in that technology, and we're very proud of that, being part of the overall energy efficiency improvement of the industry.
That's quite interesting. And then relating to the Vertiv portfolio, not just things that you do with EdgeConnex as well. What sort of things are you looking to expand now? What sort of products are you going to be adding, or solutions are going to be adding to the portfolio?
We are very much focusing on thermal energy efficiency, energy efficient technologies like indirect, evaporative, free cooling. In various shapes or form, but again, expanding into the micro data center space with smart solutions that combine all of our technologies in a way that is easy for our customer to aggregate, configure, we aggregate, and they deploy very rapidly. From a small, let's say, row or aisle of racks, cooling, and power, all the way to big for multi-megawatt data centers.
Okay. And then, Philip, for EdgeConnex, you've been having a pretty good year. Lots of investment coming in, lots of expansion. What's coming?
Continued expansion. I alluded to South America will continue to expand. And then just touching on what Giordano said, power is a big component, obviously, of the data center business. Not only getting power to the facility, but getting power to the rack. And we're seeing densities really starting to ramp up. And so this is important because as you get to 15, 20, 30 kilowatts per rack, being able to support those requirements are key. And we're seeing those use cases come to bear with things like AI. And so, and again, it's bringing those things to the edge will continue to be drivers for us to solve for those customer challenges. So continued expansion, continued technological evolution, and just continued growth for us as well as everybody in the industry.
Are you using AI in your data centers already?
We are supporting customers that need AI, yes, and very dense deployments.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And then final question, as we head into the new decade, so we're nearly in 2020 now, halfway through the year, nearly there, what's the thing that most excites you for the next decade in this industry?
You go ahead.
Well, again, there's unprecedented growth, right? And it's not just cloud, and it's you see these things that are these new technologies coming, and it just creates so much data, right? And before you would jettison it, you didn't really need it. Now you need to keep it and analyze it and use it and so forth. So this is great for all of us in the data center business. The future looks certainly bright, not only for ourselves, as I said, but for everybody in the sector. And again, I think this is where roles like the infrastructure masons play and help of bringing the community together to collectively solve for some of the challenges that we're facing. So lots of opportunity, certainly some challenges, but it's a great time to be in this space.
Okay. And definitely growth is the theme here. But it's not just growth per se, it's growth in an ever-changing architecture. We talked about a kind of an extreme edge. The extreme edge is still at its infancy, even before infancy, embryonic state. Yeah. So this growth will happen in ways that are not totally new in this moment. So partnering with EdgeConnex and being kind of a primary player in this industry is for us very exciting to be able to enable this transformation. Enable this transformation in a way that makes the overall industry very profitable, but also very, let's say, sustainable over time. I think sustainability will be a big factor going forward.
And deliverability.
Absolutely. I mean, elements of speed, elements of ubiquitous coverage, which is far from being there right now, will be big things for the next 5-10 years.
Okay, Giordano, thanks for talking to me and Philip
Thank
as well.
you.
Don't forget you can follow Data Economy on Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter, and also visit the website on www.data-economy.com.